Do you have an experience of regretting your action or your words after they have come into an action? In my experience, I have, and there are even quite a lot of times. Even a week ago, I've regretted for postponing my assignment as long as possible because I had to work really hard and quick at the last moment. I think you might also have an experience just like me. But today, after listening to my story, I hope you to make the most out of every moment so that you will never want to retrieve your time back. Many of you might be unfamiliar to the term Generation Z. The demographers classified the generations into three categories, which are baby boomers, Generation Y, and Generation Z. According to the demographers, the term Generation Z refers to the newest generation who are born between late 1990s to 2010s. People who are born between Generation Z has the biggest feature that they are digital native. In other words, people who are from Generation Z are familiar with digital devices since they encountered IT technologies from their birth. I'm also a person who was born between Generation Z, so that means that I'm also a digital native. Being digital native, I'm very familiar to one shortcut key, which makes it easy to return something backwards. The shortcut key that I want to talk about today is the Control Z key. Control Z key allows you to reverse your latest action on your digital device, and you can reuse the button for more than one action. Many people in modern society utilize this shortcut key dozens of times when they use IT technologies. Especially due to the worldwide pandemic now, we became more familiar to online and non-contact ways of communication. In case of me, our school operated a system to submit assignment files in online classroom. While doing my assignments, I also used the Control Z key countless times to restore accidentally deleted materials. It was so simple to undo or cancel my actions because I only had to press one key to do so. And thanks to this key, I could safely submit the files in time. But at this point, by using Control Z key so many times, we sometimes even forget the fact that the Control Z key never works offline. And the fact that a word or an action can cause quite much effects to other people. Now, I want to talk about two important things that I want you to remember throughout your life. First, in reality, words that are once speeded and actions that are once enacted are never available to retrieve backwards. By being oblivious about the impact of one small word or an action, we lose our discretion toward our action and word. Sometimes in reality, we simply say a word that we don't actually have in our mind, but spit out as a conversation naturally goes on. We must always be aware that a word can break a 5-year friendship, a simple decision can change your entire future, and conversely, an action can recombine broken relationship as well. So, not only be careful before you speak or act, also have the courage to correct the action that you've already done. The action that you're hesitating might have the power to recombine a broken relationship. Since your relationship structure and recombination might have been done simply by a word or an action, earn the courage to tell your friend or your family about your sincerity. It's now the time to grab your opportunity and have your courage to recombine your broken relationship. Another thing I want to emphasize is to take control of your current moment and your whole life. Every moment you live in will never come back again. So take control of your whole life and make a moment that you will not regret about. You might sometimes feel that you really want a superpower to use Control Z key in our lives. But since we're not able to redo our actions, we always have to take prudence in our actions and make a moment that we wouldn't want to return back. Now, Since we live in Generation Z, we cannot easily use digital devices without using the Control Z key. Utilize the key wisely online, but always keep in mind that the key is unavailable in offline. Before speaking a word or doing an action, why not take one more time to think about how much your behavior would have an impact on others? Then, you might find out that the weight of words weighs much more than you thought. And what about our actions? Our actions need to be enacted in a more cautious way that we will not regret about after doing so. After this time, please take a moment to make a change in your action simply by a small step. First, be aware that there is no Control Z key in offline, and take an additional step to put discretion toward your action and word. Second, earn the courage to do one action which can make the situation better. Lastly, perceive the value of current moment and enjoy every moment of your lives. So, from now on, always ask yourself before you do a certain action, am I doing something that I wouldn't want to press the Control Z button later? If the answer is no, make a change in your action in order to take control of your life. By asking the question, I hope your future is full of actions with confidence, actions that will not lead to a situation where you're hoping to press the Control Z button to return things back. Thank you.